What's going on, guys? Evil Dragon here, back with another video. Today, we're going to be doing another tier list. And that tier list is N64 games. I've been excited to do this one, because after we did the GameCube one, I did mention how I found this one, where it's every Nintendo 64 North American release. I was going to do it in Nintendo 64, but that would require a lot of time, because the N64 one that I found has every North American release. So what I did, but because of how many there were, what I did was I went out of my way to pick the ones I know I for sure have not played, and the ones I probably won't have an interest in or will never play, and kind of put them into a never played list. I might collect them eventually, but whatever. Now, do I own all these games here? No, but hear me out. I do want to own the majority of them eventually. So that's what we'll start off with. Maybe some I will put into never play, but we'll see. So the first one we have is 007, The World Is Not Enough. It is not a GoldenEye. It's 007, The World Is Not Enough. Now, have I played this game? No. But, is it as good as GoldenEye? Also no. I've seen some clips, I've seen some streams on it for people trying to speedrun the game. It looks pretty fun. I put it into a solid kind of B, right in the middle. Oh yeah, I guess I should probably go over our tiers. F for worst, GOAT for best, D and then S, C and then A, and then B's right in the middle. So that's what we'll put 007, The World Is Not Enough. 1080 Snowboarding is a game I like. It's a good racing game. I guess a good snowboard racing game. The problem is, I'm not very good at it when I've played it, and it's very hard to learn the controls, at least I find. I think I want to put it in A, but because I'm bad at it, I kind of want to put it in B. But because it is actually a pretty good racing game, I put it in A. It's a good snowboarding game, it's fun. It's all sorts of stuff. Now, Aiden Chronicles is sort of an RPG. I mean, it's a game with RPG elements. But, sadly, I barely know anything about it, so this one we'll put into never played. Asteroid 64 is literally just asteroids, but in 3D. As I said, literally just asteroids, but for the N64. So C. I mean, Asteroids is a fun game, but I honestly probably rather play the original. But that's just me personally. Lamborghini, Automobile Lamborghini, again, a fun racing game that I don't know much about, but I've heard it's really fun, but I sadly can't rank this one, so we'll put it into never played. Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. I don't own these. I don't own these yet. They are great platformers, so I've been told. I've never watched anything on them. I've seen very, very small clips, and I know for one of the games as well, if you cheat too many times, the game will delete your entire saved data, which is funny. But sadly, I don't know too much about these two games. They're both good platformers, so I've heard, and that's about it. I do want to get them eventually, but sadly, I don't know enough to play them. They're apparently very similar to Mario 64, though. Alright, next, we have Bassmaster 2000. It's a fishing game. It's a fine fishing game. And fishing, well, it's pretty fun. Especially, well, in game form. I mean, I love fishing in Red Dead and whatnot. It's a fine game. It's a competition game. It's a B. It's a solid game. It's also, I think, one of the only fishing games here, but, you know. Batman Beyond, or I guess Batman 64, is a goofy Batman game. That is fine. It's Batman. It's not, like, it's really goofy. Like, the fighting is funny. Hold on. I mean, yeah, to see. It's whatever. It probably plays better on other consoles. Battle Tanks. And I haven't played Battle Tanks Global Assault. I've heard it's slightly worse, so A. But Battle Tanks. Wow. I kind of heard about this game. What it was, you go around in the tank, there's a campaign, and it's a 4-player multiplayer, but when I played it for myself, wow. You can get a nuclear bomb power-up that literally blows up everybody that isn't you. Really fun. Beetle Adventure Racing? I I mean, I've heard it's a good racing game. I don't own this one again. I've seen it's literally just beetles racing around. Whatever. I think a B. It's an okay racing game. Apparently, it handles controls very well. Don't you love recording and then some stuff goes wrong?
Now, why did I say that? Well, because pretty much what happened was as I was making this video, the recording stopped. And I didn't know why, and I didn't even realize it until I had actually progressed the tier list. So, really quick, past me here is going to go over a very, very quick version of what I ranked the games you'll see on screen. Like I said, like I had ranked F-Zero, and I had ranked Conker's Bad Fur Day, Doom 64, etc. And all that footage got lost and bugged out because I didn't realize the recording actually ended. So here is a quick version and a quick rundown.
Let's do a quick rundown. Body Harvest. Earthworm Jim 3 I put down here. The Bomberman games, the Castlevania games, the Duke Nukem games. I'd never played any of them, but again, I thought they would be worth mentioning, which is why I put them down here. Yeah, I lost the recording, which kind of sucks, so we'll go through this again. F tier, currently, we have Clay Fighter 63 and a third. Why? Because it's a buggy, absolute disgraceful mess. D tier is the Elmo games. Do I own them? No. Have I played them? No. But they're simple learning games. I think they're fine. You're learning while playing. That can be fun. It's Elmo. It's good for a kid. So Elmo games that teaches you ABCs and learning and math, good. C tier is a Brunswick bowling game. I've always said if you're collecting, you should always have like one sports game of every sport. So like Mario Golf, Mario Tennis, a racing game, whatever. That isn't Mario Kart. I know I just said Mario Golf and Mario Tennis, whatever. So it's a simple bowling game. If you're gonna play bowling, they'll play Wii Sports Bowling.
Wii Sports Bowling, best sports game ever. I will fight anybody on that.
Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut is literally just Clay Fighter 63 and a third without any of the bugs. Plus, it is the rarest N64 game, so for that reason, C. B tier, Donkey Kong 64. A fun game that requires the expansion pack. Otherwise, you just can't play it because of a game-breaking bug. It's a fun platformer, but the reason why it's not higher is it takes way too long with all its collectibles. Doom 64, I don't own it, but I love the live stream community of it, especially the speedrunning community. It looks fun, want to own it, B tier. Dr. Mario 64, I prefer Dr. Mario on the Game Boy because it's simple and it doesn't have a story mode, and this game's fine, it's whatever, but, you know, it's Dr. Mario, B tier. Excitebike 64 is a sequel to Excitebike from the NES, but in 3D, it's a racing game, it's cool. Blast Corps. Use construction tools and giant robots to blow up cities so that a nuclear bomb carrier doesn't go right into a city and blow it up. Cool. Conker's Bad Fur Day. A cutesy, family-friendly looking platformer when in reality it is definitely not that. It is M-rated and it is still really funny and I might not have played it, but it's super goofy. S tier, Diddy Kong Racing. It's got planes, it's got normal racing, it's got hovercraft over water, it's got a mission mode, it's got fun items, it's got Conker in it, it's got like Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong, and it's got Banjo and I don't know about Kazooie. I played a little bit of it. I haven't played too much of it. It's been a little while since I played it, but again, S tier racing game. And the one we just picked was the greatest of all time, F-Zero X. We're about to show why I think it is one of the greatest racing games ever. F-Zero GX was A, but that's because I haven't played it yet. So this is F-Zero X. It's F-Zero, but it's awesome. I mean, yeah, is it downgraded from GX? Yeah, but like, I've put so much more time into that one than I have GX. Even though I don't own GX, I haven't played it. I've played it, haven't played it, whatever. That was A. This is the greatest of all time. Enough said.
Also, in case it helps, I didn't talk about the repeats to make that little rundown go by a little bit quicker. So I didn't say re-talk about asteroids, but I did talk about Donkey Kong 64.
Alright, moving on. FIFA 99. Before we get to FIFA 9, FIFA 64. It's a terrible FIFA game. It is, again, very hard to control and buggy and stupid. Whereas FIFA 99, EA fixed it and actually learned from their mistake and made it better. It's a good, simple soccer game. I think I like soccer, so I think B, bottom B. It's FIFA, and it actually does control well compared to this one, so it's fun. All right, I own Gex 64. I own this one, not this one. I own this one, but I haven't played it, so I can't rank him. It's a cool. It's a gecko. Gex is awesome. He's a gecko. He's a spy, but I haven't played the game, so I can't mark it. Same with Glover. Great platformer. You're a little sentient glove that, it's a platformer. You jump around, do stuff. Haven't played it though. Oh, don't own it. Can't rank it. Golden Nugget Casino 64. This is a game that has slots. It has different kinds of poker. It's got blackjack. It's got roulette. It's got lots of stuff. It's a casino game. It's the only one on the entire console, and for that, because I like poker, A tier. That's S. A tier. I like playing poker, especially Texas Take'em. It's fun. That's really all I wanted the game for, and even now I'll pop it in every now and then, play for like 10, 20 minutes, play a couple hands with the AI bots, which are super rigged, by the way. I swear they are. Moving on. I don't think this one really needs an explanation. GOAT. 4-player multiplayer was pinnacle at the time, where you and 3 of your friends sit and try not to screen cheat as you play GoldenEye. Different weapons, golden gun mode where it was a one-shot. Oh man, this game was so good. The campaign is so much fun too. Great. I don't think I need to explain why it's in the GOAT tier.
Even now in post-editing, I say this with passion and from my heart. I never grew up playing any of these games. So yeah, I can speak about how cool it was, but that's from maybe watching very old videos that are on YouTube, or from watching streams of people playing now on the modern day Switch Online or something. But I never grew up playing any of this. I never was there for the golden age. Now, have I experienced it? Yeah, I have. I've invited friends over now, and I've played it, but I never experienced the golden age.
Harvest Moon 64 is pretty much Harvest Moon from the SNES, and then upgraded to be even better. Now, I've played this one quite a bit. It was a rare game. I think S. It's got a lot more vegetables than the Harvest Moon on the SNES. Like, it's got 3 vegetables in spring, 3 vegetables in summer, 2 in fall, none in winter. But there's still animals, and you can fish. You can build to progress and make the map even bigger and access by building and whatnot. It's cool. It's fun. S tier. It's a simple, calm farming simulator. Hey, you Pikachu. I want to put an F so badly because it does the N64 microphone or voice recognition unit doesn't recognize anything that isn't super high pitched as a child's voice, because it was meant for kids to play. But because of this one scene, and because if I was a kid and it would work for me, I think I would like. If I was, I would like it if I had a high pitched voice. Pikachu plays a harmonica, and Lapras comes. I don't know. It's just this. It's funny. Pikachu playing a harmonica. That's funny. It's cute. That's why it's D and not F. That's all you got going for you, hey Pikachu. Because I physically cannot play you anymore because I don't have a high pitched squeaky voice.
Yeah, definitely don't have a squeaky voice.
Indiana Jones, I think a platformer I thought I would mention, but I can't play it, so I don't have it. I haven't played it. Never played it. So there we go. Jeopardy. It's Jeopardy. I don't own it, but I mean everyone's played Jeopardy, and the questions are probably out of date now. It's probably fine as Jeopardy. I think B. It's Jeopardy, but you're playing it, so cool. Jet Force Gemini. I know nothing about this game. I just know it's made by Rare, which is one of the biggest developers. Again, one of the biggest third parties and one of the best game developers on the N64 era for the N64. But I know nothing about the game. I just know it's very popular, so I thought I'd mention it. Kirby and the Crystal Shards. I played this recently, within like about 2 months ago or so. A very short game. I beat it in like 4 hours in one playthrough. S. For a Kirby game where you can combine powers, and it's very simple and very small, but still very charming, very fun. S. Lego Racers. It's a racing game that I thought I would mention because it's Lego. I've never played it though. I don't own it. There you go. Madden 2002. I have played it. I've never played a Madden game before. I have no idea how Madden games work or play.
Or the actual sport of football.
And especially on the N64. For that reason, I just like to see. I mean, I don't know any of the players because I'm not a big football fan. I just figured I should have, again, a football game and probably the more up-to-date one, which is Madden 2002, which was, I think, the second to last game released ever.
You know, because the world's ending and all.
Because this released like December or November on the N64, 2001, and then years later, and then like a year later in August 2002, the final game ever, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 released. So this is the second final game ever on the N64. It's got probably a bunch of the best graphics it'll ever have. Again, if I learned how to play, it'd probably be higher, maybe like B, but I know nothing about football, so C. Mario Golf, a fun one, especially when you can play as Metal Mario. Listen, everyone wants to make fun of Metal Mario and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but Metal Mario was in Smash 64, he was in Mario Golf, he was a legit character and a legit power-up before Pink Gold Peach was just randomly made up. For that, you can play Metal Mario, and it's fun and cool, A tier. And it's also Mario Golf. Mario Kart 64, does this one really need an explanation? GOAT tier, one of the greatest racing games up there. I'm putting it under F-Zero GXO, or F-Zero X, because F-Zero X, I would play with friends and whatnot, even though Mario Kart's mine. You know what? No, Mario Kart's top right now. GoldenEye, I think GoldenEye is there. There we go. Yeah. Mario Kart, great game on the N64. It still holds up today, especially the battle mode. Maybe the drifting is bad, and maybe the red shells, if they lock on, it'll go straight into a wall. You have to pretty much be like 2 feet away from the person for them to work. But it's fun, it's good, it's Mario Kart, and with friends, it's a blast. Also, some of the maps are pretty bad, but some of the maps are pretty good too. Mario Party 3, I don't own, but I've seen, and you can play as Waluigi. I think A, same as last time. I think what we'll do is we'll put a Mario Party in each of the categories. But unlike the ones in the GameCube, they're all really solid. So A, Mario Party, even though with its, the spinning the analog stick games that made a lawsuit happen against Nintendo, still a really fun game. I just picked it up like a couple weeks ago. I played it a couple times. It is super annoying, especially when I was first for the entire game against 3 computer players. And the last turn, they all got the chance time, and I went from first to last, and I ended with 20 coins and no stars. So this game is very hard and very unforgiving. S. That's why it's fun if you were playing with friends. And of course, Mario Party 2 introduced items. Mario Party 1 was better, so same awesome mini games, whatnot. Costumes, the maps are better. GOAT. There we go. They're all solid games. I would prefer to play Mario Party 2, but I've heard Mario Party 3, while I don't own it, I've seen the mini games like Eats a Pizza. Again, you play as Waluigi. Fun stuff. Mario Tennis. I played this one, and compared to Mario Golf, I think it's S. Again, I'm not more of a golf fan, more of a Mario Tennis fan. And with the Bowser Castle level where you can actually get items and whatnot, and you can play Shy Guy or Boo. Fun stuff. Yes, you can play as Waluigi. It's his first ever game Waluigi was added because Wario needed a partner, so they invented Waluigi. Also awesome. Where he got his start. Mega Man 64, I thought I would mention it, but I don't own it.
Also, I guess an editor's note I would mention that Mega Man 64 is just Mega Man Legends from the PS1 ported over to the N64. Why call it Mega Man 64 instead of just Mega Man Legends? I don't know.
Mickey Speedway USA, again, I don't own it. I thought I'd mention it. It's a racing game. Never played. Greatest Arcade Hits. I believe this is the Midway one, not the Namco Museum one. It's pretty much just arcade games on the N64 that you can play. Sounds fun. B. Monster Truck Madness 64. This game is made by Rockstar. I own this one. It's a lot of fun, hard to control. It's just a goofy racing game where you can like crush your opponents, whatever. B. It's fun. Monopoly 64. It's literally Monopoly on the N64. I put it in C because if you're gonna play Monopoly, just play the board game. But I mean, it's Monopoly for the N64. Mortal Kombat 4 is Mortal Kombat with a ton of characters in 3D. The first 3D Mortal Kombat, I think. I don't own it. I haven't played it. I have played other Mortal Kombats because it's probably Mortal Kombat. It's the same stuff. I think B. I would rather play Mortal Kombat 3, the trilogy version, I think, on the SNES or the N64, one of the 2 versions, which includes a lot of characters in Mortal Kombat 3 there. Which is why for Mortal Kombat Trilogy, which I do own, A. Mortal Kombat, okay, Sub-Zero, I think everybody can agree, the Sub-Zero weird game that is, I don't even know if it has Mortal Kombat fighting, but it has platforming and stuff. F, terrible game. The story is weird. I mean, you really got to be a hardcore Mortal Kombat fan, which I'm not. I just like the fighting, even though I'm super bad at it and prefer Smash Brothers fighting. Miss Pac-Man, I thought I would include, but again, I haven't played it, so there. Namco Museum 64, a game I want to own, which includes arcade games as Pac-Man, Dig Dug. I don't know if it includes Miss Pac-Man. It includes Galaga. It's just a lot of fun arcade games by Namco. I think A, because even though this one might have more, these are the kind of more popular, more fun arcade games. NASCAR 2000, a really fun racing game because I like NASCAR and I've played it. A, it's a solid racing game. I mean, you can play as Jeff Gordon, you can play as Dale Earnhardt. Dale Earnhardt, sadly, Dale Earnhardt had not passed away when this game came out, I believe. Yeah, he was still, yeah, 2000. So he was still alive when this game came out. He sadly passed away in a car crash, which is really unfortunate. His son took up the NASCAR racing mantle there, but it is a great racing game, and for that, A tier, as you can play as Dale Earnhardt, the Bull. NFL Blitz, I've heard they're really fun, but I haven't played it. Just thought I'd mention them. NHL 99 and Blades of Steel. Blades of Steel, I've heard is better than NHL 99 for hockey games. Don't own them, haven't played them, so I can't really rank them. Never played. Ogre Battle 64, one of the 3 RPGs on the system, which I don't own. I've heard they're good, but I don't really know. Never played. Paper Mario Goat, one of the only RPGs again on the console. It's Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, slightly less, but still absolutely amazing. This goes right underneath Mario Kart for me. Such a fun game. I remember playing that for the first time. Such a good game. Paperboy 64 is just Paperboy in 3D. I might not have played it, I might not have owned it, I might have seen some clips, because again, it's literally Paperboy in 3D. B, I guess. Actually, because we put Asteroids here, also here. Next to Asteroid 64, C. An arcade game in 3D. Perfect Dark, a game I own but haven't played. It uses a lot of GoldenEye's engine and is definitely a souped up Golden, like with better graphics and cool alien blaster weapons. For that, I think it's definitely not as good as GoldenEye. The multiplayer, especially, but also put it in A. It's a good for FPS game. Pilotwings 64, one of the launch titles for the N64, a fun game. I'm gonna put it in S because of the one Explorer mode where you can explore cities and you can see Mount Mario where there's Mario heads and you get to visit cities and that's kind of cool. Especially hovering around, the missions are pretty cool, especially using the jetpack. So I really enjoyed that game when I played it, so S. Pokemon Puzzle League. Okay, here's where we're going to get a little technical. Pokemon Puzzle League is A. I am not a big fan of Puzzle League games, but this one actually really caught my attention, and I really enjoyed playing it. And it's a Pokemon game, so. Pokemon Snap. I recently played within the last months. I replayed the new one on the Switch, which is so much fun. And this original one still holds up super well. GOAT. Pokemon Stadium 2. GOAT. I mean, it's literally, you can play Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, or Green. You can play Pokemon Gold, Silver, Crystal 7 Pokemon games using the transfer pack on the big screen. Transfer your Pokemon over, battle in stadiums, battle against your friends. So much fun. So much fun. This one is GOAT. And you can use Gen 1 and Gen 2 Pokemon. The campaign's also like double the length. Now, Pokemon Stadium, while tougher and whatnot, the reason why I'm putting it in only an S tier, I mean it's still S tier. The reason why I'm putting it in S tier is because Pokemon Stadium 2 is literally Pokemon Stadium, but better. And it includes way more. But Pokemon Stadium is still super good. Power Rangers, I thought I would include it because it's Power Rangers. Never played. Same with Quake. Quake 1 and Quake 2, thought I'd include because I know they're well known. Never played. Quest 64, a game that I've kind of sort of played. I played for a couple hours. Never beat. In the name Quest, like there was only, it was I think the first RPG released on the system, but there's only 3 on the system: Ogre Battle 64, Paper Mario 64, and Quest 64. And the only reason why this game exists is to be one of the only RPGs on the system. I mean, if they were, what's it called? Super Mario Legend of the Seven Stars was an RPG, and they were remaking it, which eventually became Paper Mario, which makes sense why it's an RPG. It uses the same elements. This one only exists to be one of the only RPGs on the system. See, it's also not a very good RPG from what I remember playing. You also have to use a memory pack to save it, because it can't save on the cartridge like Paper Mario. Rampage 2, Rampage World Tour, I thought I would mention because I played the one on the Wii, And I played the original in the arcade, which is, I believe that's this one. I don't entirely know though, because I don't own them and haven't played them, so never played. Rayman 2, never played. We'll hold on to that one. Ridge Racer 64, again, I know one that's popular, never played. Robotron 64, again, a game that I've seen a little bit of. It looks fun. I know it's an arcade game. I'm not entirely sure how it works. I think we'll just put it in C and move on, because again, I don't know too much about the game. It looks fun. That's all I can really say. I might not own it, but I've definitely seen a lot more footage of it, and that's why I think I can rank it. Rush games, they're 3 racing games that I think I can say I've never played and don't own, but I know they're just popular racing games, so I thought I'd mention. Snowboard Kids, again, game I don't own, never played, but I thought I'd mention because people like it. All the South Park games I've never played, and they're really popular, so I thought I'd mention. Rally, there's South Park Rally, which is a racing one, South Park like snowball fighting, I don't know. Space Invaders. Space Invaders in 3D. I'll put it next to Paperboy 64 and Armageddon 64 because it's literally just Space Invaders in 3D. Arcade game in 3D. Cool. Spider-Man. A game I haven't played, but I was looking at a lot of footage when I was telling my friend I was making this. I looked at a lot of footage, and it's very similar to Batman Beyond or Batman Forever, whatever it is, for the N64, so C tier. Space Station Silicon Valley, a fun RPG, not RPG, platforming game where you're a little computer chip that can go into animals and whatnot, but I know nothing about it, so never played. Now, with some of those out of the way, because I kind of wanted to rapid fire. Resident Evil 2, are you kidding me? That is a GOAT. Let me put that in GOAT. GOAT tier game. I think right up. I think there. Yes. GOAT tier game. Resident Evil 2 is absolutely amazing. A 2-disc PS1 game, so that would be about, each disc was 700 megabytes, so 1.4 gigabytes, squished onto a 64 megabyte cartridge. With, yes, some of the audio, they had to cut out some of the audio. And yes, for the dialogue, there's one line every 10 seconds because it's super slow. The game might be janky, but it's the entire game squished on, plus more, like, you can change the blood color. There's little hidden X-files you can find and secrets that add more data and more information to what's going on in the place. That's why I think it's a great game. I love playing it. I don't know how, I even somehow got to play with how hard it is to play it. I got to play the not DLC, but like hunk mode because I beat the game that fast on N64, which I was surprised myself. So, GOAT. Star Fox 64. It is literally Star Fox, but not as jank 3D as SNES. I think B is fine. It just makes sense. Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, and Star Wars Rogue Squadron. I don't know them. I've never played them. I just thought I'd mention them because they're really popular. StarCraft 64, I've mentioned so many times in my game collection video. If I didn't put it in GOAT, it would be a disservice to how much I think this game is. It's absolutely amazing. It's StarCraft, but on a console. I'm really putting a lot of games in GOAT here. Whatever. It's StarCraft, but on a console. Enough said. It's awesome. And it has all the DLC. And you can play split screen multiplayer. Okay. Before we do these two here, Tetrisphere, I thought I'd mention but never played. New Treasures, I thought I'd mention but I've never played. Powerpuff Girls, I thought I'd mention but I've never played. Again, I'm going to rapid fire some of the ones here to make the video go a little bit quicker. Wheel of Fortune, I have, but the game is broken. It's pretty much Wheel of Fortune. I'll put it next to Jeopardy in B because it's a Wheel of Fortune game, probably with outdated questions again, but sure. Wetrix, which is Tetris, but wet stuff, I don't know. Water. Never played. Never played. I don't know what I can't see what that says. I don't know why that one's there. Never played. The Turok games. Never played. So I can't really rank them properly. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. I mean, the 1 is definitely, I think, different than these two, controls differently, so we'll put that there. Never played. Now, here we go. Before we get into the other final games here, Superman 64, I think we can all agree really quickly here, goes in F. One of the worst games of all time. An uncompleted mess of a game. Now, here's an interesting take. Super Mario 64 is sadly not GOAT. I know, I'm going to get so much flack for this. I put it at the top of S, but in my own personal tier list, which is what this is, I think it's not a GOAT. And the reason why is Mario Galaxy exists. Super Mario 64 was the first 3D Mario game, yes. Unless you want to count Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars, whatever, as a pseudo 3D game. This game, you might have been able to move in 360 directions, and it was really fun. But I mean, it's so much more simple than I feel like people give it so much credit, and absolutely true for what it did and what it revolutionized. And I'm getting a lot of flack for this hot take, but it's a really simple game when you really think about it. I mean, you collect all 120 stars, that's it. Whereas, say, Paper Mario, on the other hand, you beat the main story, you can still do all the side quests before you do the final mission again. You just do all the side quests that there are to do, or stuff. There's stuff to do after, right? Again, I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, but Super Mario 64 I think is just the top of S. It's not a GOAT. I don't think it's as much credit as people give it for. I would rather play, like, again, if they're the other 3D Mario games or other, again, I'd rather play Paper Mario personally. Again, that's a very hot take, I know. Smash, on the other hand, is definitely a GOAT. It's Super Smash Bros. I don't know if I talked about this one a lot in the GameCube tier list. I prefer Smash 64 to Smash Melee. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot more simple, like 9 maps. Like, there's like, what, 15, I think, max total items. Plus, you know, a bunch of different food and whatnot. And there's 12 characters, and you can play as Pikachu. Might be very simple, but I mean, hey, it's the first game in the series, and I enjoyed it a lot on my favorite console. So there you go. Zelda Majora's Mask, I don't own and never played, but I've heard it's just as, I think we're going to put this one in S, because it's just like this one. Zelda Ocarina of Time. I might not have beaten it yet, because I kind of took a break from it, but I can definitely see why people agree that it is the greatest game of all time. I definitely can't find it now, but there's an old survey that had like a couple million people who took it. What was the greatest game of all time? Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time won. I can see why I enjoyed playing it. And if Majora's Mask is anything like it, it's an S. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. It's not Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, it's Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, where, you know, it's a lot more of a very heavy tactical shooter, and the fact that you get shot once, your character's probably dead. Or you might need a medic on your team to help. It's very tactical, very strategy-based, very, like, stealthy-based. For that, I think A. Like, it is very hard to control with the N64 controller. But again, for what it is, I think it's a solid game. Plus, it's got the cool black cartridge. It's got a different color cartridge, which is cool. I think A. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 is considered to be the best one, but I have not played it. But I'm still going to put it in S because I've heard a lot about it. But also in S, I'm going to put Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 because that's the one I have played. And I can't remember if it's the third or second one where you get to play as Spider-Man. But it's a fun skateboarding game. I've played that one a lot. Again, similar to 1080 snowboarding, very hard to control. But still, once you get the hang of it, which I actually did on like 1080 snowboarding, it's a lot of fun. So S tier, both of those. Virtual Chess 64 is just chess with animations. C, I guess, like it's just chess with animations. Virtual Pool 64. Hold on. It's got a simple bar here. Okay, obviously this definitely wasn't captured the best, but I don't know why. Yeah, you're in the background of a bar. It's got simple bar kind of pool music. This game might be unironically, one of the best looking games on the entire console. You can line it up, you can make sure you can see where the balls go with lines and whatnot. I've played this one unironically just a lot more than I've actually played Pool itself. I've just played Virtual Pool 64 because it's Pool on the N64. It's a lot of fun. Again, it's a simple game. I think I'll put it in A. I think that's fair. Yeah. Wale Golf Club is a golfing game that I know was, for some reason, kind of like just there, and people tend to have it. I know nothing about the game. It's golf. It's not Mario Golf, so I don't know. B. It's apparently a good golf game. I haven't played it yet. I own it, but still, I haven't heard a lot, so whatever. Yoshi's Story is a sequel kind of to Yoshi's Island, without having Baby Mario. For that fact alone, being the semi 2D, 3D game, I think it's a solid game. B, I was gonna say B, but it's Mario. A tier. We'll put an A tier. It's pretty good. It looks pretty good. A tier. World Driver Championship is a racing game that is not very, very good, but I don't think I can put it F. I think I have to put it in D. I think that's fair. It's not, again, it might not be very good, and I have played it. I don't like it, but I don't think it's as bad as these. Wave Race 64 is a great racing game, like 1080 Snowboarding. I'm going to put it next to 1080 Snowboarding in A, because it was great, but the GameCube version, Wave Race Blue Storm, which wasn't on the GameCube tier list for some reason, looks amazing. Whereas this game, well, looks good. It's kind of like 1080 Snowboarding. It's all polygons and whatnot. I mean, all of this stuff's polygons. So you know what I mean? It's a good racing game. Very similar to 1080 Snowboarding. Worms Armageddon 64. I've played this game so many times. It's Worms on the N64. I've played this so many times, probably because it cost me a lot of money and I want to get my money's worth. S tier game. So much fun. Very hard to get, and when I did get it and I played it, I loved it, and I'm actually playing it. It's the only cartridge inside my N64 currently. So, great game. And finally, to end it off, WrestleMania 2000 is the only WrestleMania game I own. I mean, all wrestling games back in the, the late 90s, early 2000s there, this being WrestleMania 2000, was super goofy and super fun. I think B, to end it off there. So, our tier list. That's what we have. In F tier, we have the worst game ever, Superman 64. Is it as bad as E.T. the Terrestrial? I don't know. Sub-Zero Mythologies, because it's not Mortal Kombat. FIFA 64, because of how bad it controls. And Clay Fighter 63 and a third, because it's buggy and not as good as its upgraded version, you should say. D tier, World Driver Championship, which would be F if it was, I mean, it's a racing game. I like racing. That's pretty much it. Because of the one harmonica scene for Hey You Pikachu, D, and then the other learning with Alamo games. Sure. C is Virtual Chess 64, Robotron 64, Quest 64, Monopoly 64, Madden 2002, Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cup, because A, how rare it is, and also B, it fixed the problems the 63 and a third had. Bowling, Brunswick Bowling, Spider-Man, Batman Forever, Space Invaders, Paperboy, and Asteroid 64. These three games, because they're Atari, or I guess not Atari, like arcade version, but in 3D. There you go. B tier, WrestleMania 2000, Wale, whatever the heck, Golf Club. Mortal Kombat 4, Star Fox 64, Monster Truck Madness 64, which is the only game I own by Rockstar on the console. I think it's definitely one of the few. Greatest Arcade Hits, Midway, Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, FIFA 99, Excite 64, Beat Adventure Racing 64, Bassmaster 2000, 007, The World's Not Enough, Dr. Mario 64, Doom 64, and Donkey Kong 64. Then at A tier we have Yoshi's Story, Virtual Pool 64, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, Pokemon Puzzle League, Perfect Dark, NASCAR 2000, Namco Museum 64, the Mortal Kombat Trilogy, Mario Party 3, Mario Golf, Golden Nugget 64, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Blast Corps, Battle Tanks, Global Assault, Wave Race 64, and 1080 Snowboarding. In S tier, we have Worms Armageddon, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, Pilot Wing 64, Mario Tennis, the first Mario Party, Kirby and the Crystal Shard 64, Harvest Moon 64, the original Battle Tanks, Diddy Kong Racing, Pokemon Stadium, and again, the hardest take that I'm going to get so flamed for, Super Mario 64. And finally, in GOAT, we have the greatest game of all time, by many. I think I agree with it, even if I haven't played it all the way through and beaten it, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. My personal favorite Smash, maybe tied with Ultimate or even better than Ultimate, Super Smash Bros. Pokemon Stadium 2, because you can use all the Game Boy games on it. It has Gen 1 and Gen 2 Pokemon, which are unironically my favorite ones, even if I never grew up playing them. So much as content to do, especially playing with friends. The mini games are a blast, most of them better than the predecessor. Pokemon Snap, which holds up today so well as a great just take camera of Pokemon games, and the 3D models are super goofy and it's a lot of fun. GOAT. Mario Party 2 being the best Mario Party, also though, because it includes the best Mario Party 1 minigames, a bunch of good ones from Mario Party 2, good maps, items, etc. The one thing they're missing is Waluigi, but Mario Party 3 is definitely worse than Mario Party 2. StarCraft 64. I've talked about this game again so many times. I'll talk about it again. It's StarCraft, but on a console, and you can play split screen with a friend. What just happened? Cool. Resident Evil 2. Again, a really quick thing. 2 disc PS1 game shrunk onto a 164 megabyte cartridge. Super fun. F-Zero X, a great racing game. F-Zero, come back, please. Like, just make a new F-Zero Nintendo. I'm a F-Zero fan, a Nintendo fan. It's like a slogan at this point. Then the top 3 games that I would say. I think I put that one down. GoldenEye 007 is a great multiplayer game and a great single-player campaign game. But if you're gonna play it with the multiplayer, because that's awesome. Especially with four, you and 3 other people. And now you've played online too if you have the Switch Online service and the expansion pack, so that's cool. Paper Mario 64, one of the 3 RPGs, not meant to be an RPG on the system, like not meant to be one of the only 3, but it was made to be a sequel to the RPG on the SNES, Legend of the Seven Stars. It is a great, great RPG and a great game, Paper Mario. And I think the greatest game on the N64, actually, why smash on here? I'm moving that one up there. But I still think the greatest game on the N64, okay, listen. I think a lot of the multiplayer games kind of have to be there. There we go. Okay, cool. The greatest game on the N64, though, is Mario Kart 64. Battle mode, or just racing with friends. Especially with this game being still simple, and the items being simple, but still being there, like the blue shell. Oh, this game is so much fun. That is the greatest game on the N64. But that was my tier list. I hope you guys liked it. Let me know what you think in the comments below, what you would change. Especially about Mario 64. That's the hottest take probably on this. So let me know what you guys think. I mentioned other games, so let me know if you think of the other games I mentioned here that I just don't own or haven't played. I just thought they were worth mentioning. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Blessed. Maybe leave a like, maybe leave a nice comment down below, maybe hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell. See you guys next time for another tier list. Bye, guys.